Hello, everyone, and welcome to Happy, Healthy, and Successful, the summit in which we bring teachers, way showers, masters of their craft to share with you processes, ways of being, new possibilities for you to step into your next. And today we have Zena Contreras with us. Welcome. Tell us,
Hello.
yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, your message, what you're up to in the world.
Absolutely. So I have been a corporate recruiter for 25 years,
Mhm.
predominantly in entertainment broadcasting, um, and just decided to step away from that. My last job was CNN, and I decided to step away to really help people package and prepare their background so that they can get seen. Over the 25 years, what I've noticed is people just kind of throw things together on their resume and don't realize that it's a marketing document, right? It's the best, scenario of yourself, summary of yourself, rather than chronologically putting all this data in. So I really help people package and prepare their background, but also because of my 25 years of being a corporate recruiter, I can help them get around the gatekeeper, which used to be me. So get around the recruiter, get around the ATS system, get in front of the decision leader so you can get seen.
Mhm. So this is really good because a lot of the people that are watching this may be in transition. They may in transition from what they used to do to something new that maybe they're being called to do. Some of them are stepping out of the job into a business. And for a business, it's really the same thing, right? It's about who you are, branding yourself, positioning yourself so you can get that contract, so you can get that long-term, contract employment. So this is uh, perfect, especially in this time of year as we step into 2024. What can you share about when somebody's in transition? What have you noticed that has been helpful to them, either to adopt in terms of habits or mindset or just awareness that may help them in success?
Absolutely. So mindset really is 70% of getting anything. I mean, you can not have the skill set, but be confident that you can go in and add value, and then someone can see the possibilities within you. So mindset is 70% there. I would say someone in transition is understand we all have value. We all have gifts, talents, and abilities and experience. And some of us have more education than others. And that can be packaged in a way like a beautiful cake or a beautiful song or whatever, but it has value and it has value to someone else. The thing about mindset is oftentimes we get confused with comparing ourselves to other people at the similar level, and we don't think that we measure up, especially if you've lost your job, because we're so tied to the value of a job, the value of a paycheck, the value of our lifestyle, that we negate the totality of who we are and what we bring to an environment, to the planet, to other people.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. We all have that divine uniqueness, right? And our our upbringing makes us unique. How we overcome challenges makes us unique. How we see the world makes us unique, and how we continue to strive to step into being the best version of ourselves and serving in different ways. Uh, I wanted to see if we can move into you know, once I feel like that can be ongoing, but it changes. It changes from I have to do this, or I have to, step into my confidence to I naturally am in my confidence. And that has to do a lot with practice, um, practice, self belief, self trust. But then that carries beyond how we feel to how we serve the world in our careers, in our businesses. Share a little bit about when you work with individuals and you help them package themselves because it feels like it's an internal alignment as well, in a spiritual alignment or energetic alignment. What are some of the things that you suggest for them to do moving forward to make it natural?
Thank you for asking that question. So, I really have sort of an untraditional, unorthodox approach to career coaching. I know everyone is looking for a job, but I'm a spiritual coach and I'm a life coach. And I do align your chakras to help you understand. So, most people just think if I get another job, make $20,000 more, life would be amazing, relationships would start to work out. No, it's deeper than that. It is deeper than that. And so sometimes well, I won't say sometimes, I will say a large percentage of the time, it has to do with our self worth and those things that we were told in early childhood that have formulated this crystal, around our mind, just sort of encapsulating this negativity of what we think who we are. And
Mhm,
so we have to get granular with that. So, one of the things that I do is if people give me the permission, because there are people who are very religious on the religious sector that may not believe in spirituality, but
mhm,
if they give me the permission, then I have them complete a chakra assessment, which
mhm,
really helps me to understand where there are and where there are missed opportunities. And so,
mhm,
by having a discussion, we can get down to different levels. I'll give you an example. I have a gentleman who went to Wharton and he
mhm,
just got his graduate degree. Stellar background, has been unemployed for 2 years. At the core of what it was, is he never thought that he was worthy to be in these positions and in these boardrooms and with this title because of something his fourth grade teacher told him.
mhm,
So I also practice Ho'oponopono, which
mm,
is, just really saying I'm sorry. People want acknowledgement, acceptance, and they want to know that they're validated, right? And so I stepped outside and I became the fourth grade teacher and I apologized for
mhm,
any words, anything that has grossly impaired his
mhm,
growth.
mhm,
And he actually came back and said that when he meditated on it, he was able to release it. But unbeknownst to our session, he had no idea that that was growing and festering
mhm,
inside of him.
mhm. Yeah, and who we are unconsciously was created by our environment, was created by our circumstances, the people around us, the belief systems, what we heard, the identities, the labels that were placed on us. But being in that awareness, we can break free of that and we can create our reality and we can move into worthiness and deservingness. And that's a lot of the work that I also do, self love, self forgiveness, self acceptance, self awareness, and owning our value. And then when we can get to owning our value, then the career or the contract or the job that we want to get, it aligns much easier. And maybe it's not what we were really looking for, right? Maybe it's not what it was, and there was an ego part of us maybe that was asking for that, because that gives us significance, relevance, or maybe it was an expectation that we were trying to live into. But once we're aligned within ourselves, it becomes a lot easier to step into even a track. The universe will orchestrate for us. Thank you for sharing that story. That's a very powerful story. I've seen, I've seen alchemy in action in that way, especially when we align with who we are. And I love that you do that. I love that you bring your experience in from years and years of the, you know, supporting people and finding the right job, but also helping them with the internal aspect of them, especially because when you're going from one job to another, it's usually an upgrade.
Right.
Not always a lateral move, but when or it may be something different. So sometimes when we're in that unknown, our insecurities kick in, our past things come up. And I see them really as an opportunity to heal and to step into the new. So that's really, really powerful. What else can you share with us in terms of some of the strategies that you use to help people find what they're looking for, but more importantly, aligning with themselves first so that they can find what they're looking for?
Absolutely. So, I'd like to touch upon that desperation speaks loudly. And so as a recruiter, why I decided to be a career coach is because I would have these phone interviews with people with great backgrounds, but I would hear the desperation, like, I need to get that next job. Because I need to get that
Mhm.
paycheck. And what they were doing is they were allowing all of the noise to misalign the opportunities that were in front of them. And maybe they didn't see that. So I really help people to understand, to stay in their value.
Mhm.
And if they don't recognize their value, then I speak to that value, and I let them know that opportunities haven't left the planet. Like money hasn't left the planet. We could be in a recession, we can be in a depression. Opportunities are all around us, especially in the times that we're in. And just to your point, that sometimes they think it's a job, and after some coaching, they're like, I didn't realize I could do this. I need to be an entrepreneur. I need to be
Mhm.
a coach. I need to do this. I make the best cakes in the world, right? I mean, look at the cupcake person or whatever,
Mhm.
And so they didn't realize. But what you really have to do is you really have to sit with yourself as an individual. And I tell them meditation has to be part of it. Meditation can take all types of forms. It could take a bath, it could take walking, it could take earthing, it could be sitting in silence, but you have to listen to what your soul is guiding you to do, because
Mhm.
we all have a calling, and it's not working for corporate America. It could be using our voice. If we were hurt or abused, maybe you're now an advocate. So first you really have to get down into it and
Mhm.
and sort of hear the clues. You'll hear the universe is talking to us all the time. So that's one thing. But if you are pursuing a corporate position, you need to have a LinkedIn profile, a professional LinkedIn profile, an optimized LinkedIn profile so recruiters and hiring leaders can find you. You need to have a marketing resume, which could consist of infographics or a combination hybrid resume, but not a generic chronological resume that doesn't speak. Most people want to know who they're going to be hiring, they want to see some of that personality. The other thing that's now happening is people are actually having web portfolios where
Mhm.
they're actually doing some video clips and inviting people in to see a little bit about their personality. So AI is sort of advanced things into that level. Um, the thing about AI, and I just want to touch upon this, is a lot of people think that AI can help them get a job. It can help write your resume, it can help write a cover letter, it can help do the job searching. But a human being hires another human being. And
Mhm.
you have to essentially be able to talk the talk and walk the walk. But if you don't speak AI and you're letting that AI fix your resume and you cannot articulate that, it's really going to be a bad reflection upon you.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing that. And I know you're speaking to a job, but I want to just kind of share with the audience because I know many of you are entrepreneurs. As entrepreneurs, we we also get hired by companies or other small business. So how we're presenting ourselves is important. So it's not necessarily like the job, but it's a contract. It's a business arrangement that we're creating, but they're also looking at who you are, you know, who's going to be working with them, who's going to be advising them, who's going to be leading them or their organization, where you come from, what are you about. So your how you present yourself in your portfolio or your brand is really important, and who you are in your energy and your vibration and service to the world is also important. So we want to remember. Very good. Zena, was there ever a time where you felt challenged by the work that you were doing, or what was the greatest challenge that you ever experienced in your life that gave you the biggest or lesson?
So I have to be very transparent. For years, I was chasing the
Hmm.
dollar as being a corporate recruiter, being an executive recruiter. And as I was going through the interviews, and meeting different people, I was realizing that as a spiritual person, that I was misaligned with what my calling was. And so going through these corporate environments, seeing some of the hiring practices of some of these organizations, when you know that someone is right for the job, but they may not fit that corporate profile or that look, or they may not have a brother, sister, mother that works in the industry that could drop a name, that really felt misaligned to me. And I took it personal. I had issues with performance because at Disney, my senior vice president said, "You're taking this too personal." And I'm like, these are people,
Mhm.
because I have been unemployed multiple times in my career. And I know what that feels like, that desperation, that wanting to get a job just so that you can hold on to things. And even as an entrepreneur, now as an entrepreneur myself, I know what it's like, that if I don't get any sales or don't have any new clients, I know that feeling. And so I had to really stay firm, and no matter what was going on in the world, with what I believe.
Mhm.
And then I started to draw people like yourself and other people and other connections and opportunities that I wouldn't have even thought about, like, oh, really? I could create an ebook about this, and I could put that on Etsy, or I can put that on Amazon. Oh, I have value. My words have, my experience has value. So we really have to look at everything that we do and be appreciative, be gentle with ourselves.
Mhm.
um, but we hear the clues, and that's the thing. So the greatest challenge is when we don't listen to those clues, to those indicators, to those callings,
Mhm.
whatever, if it's entrepreneur or employment.
Yeah, that's really good. A really good point. When we don't listen, we do not listen to the universe, when we're not listening to our higher self, when we're not listening to what our soul's trying to express, we miss, certain opportunities. We, have to come back around and sort of do the start over. So it's really important for us to feel into, is this, where I find the greatest joy? Where is this what brings me the greatest joy, where I can live into the highest possibility that can be? So asking yourselves those questions, I think, are really important for us to stay in that alignment. So it's not about the money. And it was hard sometimes for people, especially if they're struggling, or especially if like there's a bill that needs to be paid or the lights need to
Right.
stay on. I understand that how that can be, but we have to remember to lean into our knowing and to lean into trust. And especially when we're in that situation, it almost feels like a fork in the road, right? You can go into that deep desperation, or you can continue to trust and just contribute and be of service and take one step at a time. Because now you're showing yourself and the universe, I believe in myself. I trust myself. I deserve this. I deserve to be supported. I deserve to have the life that I desire. I'm putting, that my effort and action energy into what's next, and you're not, entertaining anything less than that. And that, it's like an alignment that happens within you. You can go down this path, or you can continue to align with the higher and higher and higher, a higher possibility of
Right.
yourself. So that's beautiful and powerful. Anything else that you can share with our audience about what you do, what's helpful? Because I really love that what you bring to the table of the spiritual coach, the life coach, and the experience, and of course the logistics and strategy of presenting yourself, branding yourself, so that they can truly see you.
So, I love being a spiritual coach. That's probably who I am most, and resonating at that level. And then from a life coach, I think that I've been gifted with the opportunity to see, at a core level, the value in everyone. Like, I can see the good, but I can also see a lot of different things, but I can see the good. And sometimes people just need you to sow that seed into them.
Mhm.
And then they might have heard it, and they take hold, and life just takes off for them. So I really like that aspect of it. I like being able to customize everything that I do for their situation and their circumstances. So I say, give me an opportunity to, to coach you 3 times. And if you haven't experienced a shift, I give back whatever you've given to me because maybe it's just not your time. And
Mhm.
maybe there are some lessons that you need to understand. On the life coaching and spiritual coaching, I mean, I work with women who are entrepreneurs and who are in narcissistic relationships. And I help people to see a different perspective because every day is a lesson. It's not about someone taking advantage of you. It's not about you losing anything. We come from this unlimited source, and there's so much available. But we also, people get it a little confused when they say evil or the devil or the enemy and all this. I'd like to bring them down to the reality of free will. And
Mhm.
free will sort of allows us to get into situations and circumstances. So if we're in a bad relationship or in a bad situation, look for the lesson. And here's a hack that anyone can use: find one great thing about anything. So if I've lost my job, well, you know what? Maybe my body needs rest.
Mhm.
Maybe I can start to garden, or maybe I can do some of those things that I put off or whatever. But just find one good thing and you will shift into another dimension of allowing. See, that process is about allowing. And
Mhm.
anything spiritual and anything from a higher source, we don't govern the how. We just have to have the desire.
Mhm.
We don't govern the how. So, if that is one thing that I can share with people, stop trying to figure out the how.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Yes, because the universe has infinite ways of bringing it to you. So you don't need to know. You just, hold that intention of what you truly desire and that clarity, and then let the universe happen.
Right.
And the other message that you gave about the perspective, right? Because we always go to judge what's wrong about this. But what if we looked at it as a possibility, an opportunity, or what is right about this? And and if we look at it without judgment, without something is happening to me, or the world is against me, or not again, or another obstacle. If we look at it as an opportunity to grow, or an opportunity to take care of another aspect of ourselves, or to move in a different direction, then those potential challenges, or that appear like challenges, they begin to dissolve and move out of the way. And we become more resilient that way as well, because we're looking at everything from a higher perspective, from a place of opportunity and possibility. So
Right.
we're in the expanded state, we're in the amplified state, we're allowing more to show up when we can do that. Beautiful, 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 and powerful. Zena, anything else that you want to share with our audience? Anything that you want to give or offer, that you have available to them?
Absolutely. So I always offer a free 30-minute session with me. You can go to my career site, but that also applies to the life coaching, the spiritual coaching. And so even if you aren't looking for a job, I would say, let's just chat. Let's understand what it is that you're looking for. There might be connections and insights that I might have that could really benefit you. So you can go to careercoaching.com, and then there's a free discovery session, or you can go to my spiritual site, which is coachzena.com. And either way, you can get a free session and we can start to figure out some of the things that might be holding you back or just expand your vision.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. What a wonderful gift for everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. Very powerful. Love to hear more about what you're sharing and offering with the world as we move forward. And the audience, I'm sure, will benefit greatly from what you have to share.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And thank you, everyone. Atila. Namaste.
Thank you.